everybody, and welcome into the Mountaineers Now postgame show. I'm Schuyler Callihan. Joined with me from the WVU Coliseum is Christopher Hall, co-publisher on the site. And West Virginia picks up their third one of the season, 75-57 over Morehead State. Chris, this was a very slow, very sloppy start for the Mountaineers. What did you see in those first 5 to 8 minutes or so that was totally different from what we saw from the rest of the game?
It just seems like, I mean, it's so early because it's a third game of the season. It just seems like they're reacting to their opponent more than them just playing. And they're still trying to gel together. And, when you're trying to still gel and figure out your opponent at the same time, you're going to get kind of sloppiness. Obviously, they're trying to stop you. But I think it's a good sign. Even though it's sloppy early, I think they had 5 turnovers in the first 3 minutes. They finished with 10. So your next 37 minutes, you only had 5 turnovers. So it's a concern because you don't want turnovers at any point of the game. And you definitely, if you go to Kansas and something like that, you might be down 12-0, and that's not a deficit you want to overcome out in Lawrence. But if you're only going to give up the 5 turnovers in the next 37 minutes in that arena, that's not bad. But just a lot of miscommunication early. Trying to run some new offense, but I don't think it's a concern yet. Of course, it's only game 3.
Moving into some of these stats now, the team stats, Morehead State turned it over 20 times. Some of those were unforced, but West Virginia, I thought, did a fairly good job defensively in kind of getting things a little chaotic there for Morehead State. West Virginia only shot 4 of 17 from 3. Rebounds were knotted up at 33 apiece. Now let's look at some of the individual stats as well. For Morehead State, Alex Gross, 12.6 boards. Mark Freeman, 10 points. Kind of a very low-scoring game for them. They only had 2 guys in double figures. West Virginia only had 3. Trey Mitchell leading the way with 21 points. Jimmy Bell, 10 points and 8 boards, his best game so far. And Mohamed Wagi, 10 points and 2 boards. Emmett Matthews also chipped in 9 points and 4 rebounds as well. So, again, very low scoring game across the board for really both teams. Outside of Trey Mitchell, there's a lot of guys kind of struggling to find the bottom of the net. Joe Toussaint really wasn't a factor in this one. I guess what was the takeaway, I guess, from you in terms of Trey Mitchell? I mean, this is only game 3. We keep hearing Bob Huggins say he's still not 100%. He's still not in shape. What is Trey Mitchell going to look like when he's fully in shape and at his peak? Because this is insane what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he just said in post game he's still not in shape. He played 27 minutes and scored 21 points. I didn't look too deep, but he was scoring 30 points at UMass in his time at UMass. So this isn't anything new to him. He got injured at Texas last year. Guess they didn't really have him moving a lot, but kind of thought it was interesting. Huggins said if you wanted to compare him to a past player, look at Deshaun Butler. I thought that was a big compliment. He didn't say he was Deshaun or exactly Deshaun, but if you wanted to look at a player, look at Deshaun. So I thought that was interesting. And if you look at all those forwards, Wagi and Bell, the efficiency tonight. I know Wagi and Mitchell combined, I think, 13 to 16 from the field. So when you're getting that kind of play from those forwards, of course, you'd like to see the rebounding numbers up. But the way they were finishing around the rim and the way Mitchell can attack or score from mid-range or outside has been good to see, especially since he's been playing the 4. It's what they've been looking for the last couple of years. So it looks like they got it. We'll see. They got one more game to get everything ready for next week.
Yeah, I mean, you look over the years. I mean, West Virginia's always had a pretty solid big, whether it's been Zach Sconate, Derek Culver, list goes on and on, Oscar Sheboy. But it seems like this is probably the most depth that they've had in that front court. I mean, we're talking 3, maybe 4 guys if James Okonkwo can stay consistent as well and be in that rotation. Do you feel like this depth could really help West Virginia maybe exceed some of the preseason expectations?
It's funny you mentioned up James Okonkwo. See if I can still find him. Oh, there he is. See if I can get him on here. He's currently running the steps inside the WVU Coliseum. Apparently, some of the players weren't taking it seriously, and James took the brunt of that. He said this isn't discipline, as he was out here when we were coming out of the post game, he said this was his way of apologizing and keeping his legs ready for Friday. So, yeah, there's depth. Obviously, someone's learning a hard lesson to my left of me right now, but uh, you can see the potential. You can see a lot of potential down there. Uh, Wagi is extremely athletic. He is, Huggins confirmed it. I mean, he is by far their best finisher around the rim. I mean, he can contort his body, twist, turn, and get around defenders. So that's good to see from him. But uh, I think Bell still has to get some work. He gets the ball a little, brings the ball a little too low at times. But other than that, you bring James back as he's running right beside me here, come behind me. You bring him back. That definitely brings a lot of depth.
James Okonkwo making his Mountaineers Now post-game debut. I love it. So, Chris, before we get out of here, I know you probably haven't done too much studying up on Penn yet, but just what do the Penn Quakers present to West Virginia in terms of the challenge that they're going to have before they get really into some deeper, tougher play next week?
You're right. I haven't looked at Penn at all, so thank you for just putting me on the spot. So just stick with West Virginia. My goodness. It's like really, I mean, anyway, this is going to be with West Virginia. They have to stay focused. That slow start tonight, it's not what you wanted coming off that big Pitt game Friday night. That was a huge win and a tough place to play. So you want to see a better response. That is a good Morehead State team, without a doubt, the preseason favorites in the Ohio Valley Conference. But you want at home. You want to see a better outing. Again, that is a good team, but that's like you mentioned, that sloppiness at the beginning. Uh, you didn't see. I don't want to say you didn't see the effort, but that high energy. Of
Yeah.
course, when you're playing Pitt, it's different. But you you're at home. I don't think that was a problem for most of the guys. You see Stevenson. That's second game where I think he played a little too hyped up at home. That's what now 2 games at home he scored 19. He had 16 the other night at Pitt. So I think he's got to check his emotions at home. You got to get the guards to shoot a little bit better. Find a little more consistency there offensively Friday because it's a big test next week. For this group, there's 7 newcomers. A lot of these guys are still playing together, so huge test. They got to take this week seriously so they can get ready next week.
Again, West Virginia takes on Penn Friday at 7 o'clock inside the WVU Coliseum. We'll have the Mountaineers Now post-game show following. Got a big week planned for you. Obviously, we'll have the Between the Ears show on tomorrow with Zach Campbell. We're going to talk the quarterback situation Thursday with Eugene, the Walkthrough Game Day show. Post-game show on Friday and Saturday for the basketball and football games. So for Christopher Hall, I'm Schuyler Callihan. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Mountaineers Now. Thanks for watching.